Needless to say, once the bastards heard about him, he never got it.
Hey, this is Jimmy George's Little Point. You're watching Barbers and Bastards. Today we're in Nelson, British Columbia, and I'm with
Brent Malish.
And where are we today, Brent Malish?
We are at Backroads Brewing Company.
What can you tell us about Backroads Brewery?
So Backroads Brewing Company is the third brewery here in Nelson. We opened just about 2.5 years ago at this point. And we were the first brewery to open right in the middle of downtown Nelson. We're straight in the heart of Baker Street.
What does Backwood bring to
Backroads?
Backroads.
Happens all the time. It's unbelievable how often we get that.
What do you guys bring to craft brewing?
Oh man, that's a big question. But we've mainly one of the big things we bring, first and foremost to Nelson is we brought a new kind of social space in town and a very, very different type of space. So before we had opened, downtown, all the other bars and pubs were more traditional kind of the sports bars or kind of English style pubs, and they were dark. And we all of a sudden opened up one day with a pub that looked like a coffee shop. And it sort of brought in a different social atmosphere to being able to say what it means to go out and drink a beer and not feel like you're, drinking in a dark glass watering hole.
You guys serve food here as well?
We do a little tiny bit of food, just snacks.
Okay,
We're not a restaurant, and we don't want to be a restaurant. So I know some breweries will put in full kitchens. We wanted nothing to do with that. We're like, no, we make beer, we do one thing well, we make beer. So on the beer side, we're very lucky in that we have a very, very well-experienced brewmaster here on staff. Mike Kelly is the business partner in the company and the brewer. He's been brewing beer for about 25 years commercially. And before he came on board with us, he was the brewmaster at Nelson Brewing Company, just up the hill for, I think it's a little over a decade that he was making NBC's beer. So we were kind of lucky in that he was looking for a change right around the time that we were looking for a brewmaster, and it was sort of a match made in heaven.
This beer caught my eye, and it's the what's this one again?
Jim Knickers Fruity Goza.
This is really fucking good.
Yeah, it actually just came out yesterday. So a brand new one for us. First time we've ever made a Goza. First time our brewmaster Mike has ever made a Goza. Funny enough, in 25 years he'd never made that style of beer.
I've never heard of a Goza.
Goza is a Belgian style, falls under the sour ale category. Sours are incredibly popular right now. And it uses, so the malt is an acidulated malt, which sort of beer speak for, it's got like an infected bacteria purposely onto the malt already, so it gives that bit of a sour flavor to the beer, or an off flavor to the beer, which is actually what you want in that. And then we use a little bit of salt, a little bit of coriander, and then this one specifically we aged on lemon and lime wedges.
It's interesting you say that this is a sour, because the first time I tried a sour was at the Nanaimo Beer Festival, and I spit it out. I could not, I stayed away from them. Like, I hate them.
Yeah.
But this, I could drink this every day.
Yeah, so Goza is kind of it's an introductory sour, and it's, they're designed to be just slightly tart. So when you get into the really hardcore kind of Belgian lambics, those beers can be aged for up to 5 years, and when you go to a sour brewery that only makes sour beers, they will have a person on staff who specifically sits there and will blend the different years of batches together to create the right type of sour ale.
So like a scotch.
Yeah, exactly, like a scotch or like a fine wine. It's a really, really complicated process to make a really good sour, and it's when you have a bad sour, that's probably because a brewery has thrown beer in a barrel and then taken all that beer out of that barrel and bottled it and hasn't blended it against anything, and so you end up getting essentially it's like battery acid sometimes, and it's bad. When you have a bad sour, it's really, really bad.
Yeah, oh, I can definitely attest to that.
But yeah, Gozas, start them off, introductory to sour. It's a great way to sort of, just get your feet wet a little tiny bit with sour beer.
So if you get down to Nelson, you want to come check out
Backroads Brewing Company.
And if you have the
Goza.
The
Jim Knickers.
The Jim Knickers Fruity Goza. You want to check this out. So are you guys going to be bottling this or canning this?
So right now, this one is not planned to be bottled or canned. But that being said, we do a whole bunch of different styles. Every single month we release a new beer in a bottle, along with our kind of core year-round products. So I wouldn't be surprised if this goza or a variation on this one does end up making it into a bottle at some point.
Cool. Well, keep an eye out at your local liquor stores and beer and wine stores for it's pretty fantastic. This is Jimmy George at the Point. You're watching Barbers and Bastards. Enjoy.
Cheers.